I don't think I understand pornography simply because I find the most attractive thing in the world to be someone being connected to me, being attracted to me and loving me is the single most attractive thing. If someone tells me in even the most simple terms that they find me attractive and that they love me, I'm probably not going to believe it. It'll probably take me several months to believe it. But when I finally do believe it, it's the most attractive thing. I think one of the fastest ways that I'm able to be attracted to someone is when they tell me that they're obsessed with me. That's one of the things where I feel a sense of immense gratification emotionally and sexually to know that an attractive person feels that way about me. Of course, there are things that I'm not attracted to, but overwhelmingly speaking, I'm more interested in the emotional component than the actual physical one. It isn't to say that I don't have a sex drive, but when it comes to porn, it feels so disconnected that I don't care about it. Like looking at these people play around, it just doesn't mean anything to me. You know, people they talk about porn in the sense of like, what are your fetishes? How hot is this? And whenever I see it, I just don't understand it. Like, I've used it before. I've had times where I was so bored where I just kept using it, but I never liked it. I never liked using it. I just was. And nowadays I've been focusing so much on reading and on my craft that I just don't even think about it throughout the day. I don't even think about horniness. I just do the set of tasks that I have at hand and then I go to sleep. I don't think about this like weird sexual urge people have. I don't understand it. I don't understand pornography very much. Like, people, they try to explain to me the psychological component of their fetishes, and, I can empathize with it. I don't blame anyone for feeling that way, obviously. This isn't a video where I'm going to come out kink shaming and sounding like some kind of weird conservative, but I just, like, for me, on a personal level, I can understand the psychological underpinnings of however many things if you just explain it to me. If I read a book about fetishes or whatever, I'll get it. But I will never truly understand what it is like to walk in the shoes of somebody who is interested in pornography and these types of things, let alone someone who views it as a art that they're obsessed with, that they want to be a part of. I have some friends that are like that, and I'm just like, bro, what are you even talking about? Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like every single time that I've ever felt sexually gratified to any significant degree was always when intoxicated or with another person, most likely through the internet. And being able to be there with that other person in like a video call or whatever, and having them say my name specifically, talking about me specifically, that the context of the conversation had to do with me, that that was much more gratifying than looking at pornography ever was. That mattered to me more. And I don't know, I don't understand it. But I'm not even particularly a romantic guy. Like, I've been in a lot of relationships, but they always ended because the other person wouldn't let me do my work. And I always felt like being in a relationship with that person, whoever it was, made me feel like I was in a position of a robot. I was over here like trying to do my own thing, and then they would come at me with all this interpersonal stuff. It wasn't like I didn't love them. It wasn't like I didn't have moments of humanity or being interpersonal. But every time I've been in a relationship, the person I've been with has always been so significantly more emotional that it's actually made me a little bit uncomfortable at times, just because I'm I'm so focused on practicing something and on trying to be the best at whatever it is that I'm working on, that it's genuinely difficult for me to understand people who are just obsessed with a person and that's all they want to think about. Like, I've been madly in love with people before. I felt those feelings. But the way that I've expressed it is so fundamentally different than everyone else that I've been with. Because when I'm with someone, I just don't put the emotional energy into the relationship. I put the emotional energy into something else. I put it into making tons of YouTube videos. I don't think about stuff like this. I don't think about, you know, how I can be the most romantic in a relationship. I don't think about how I can be the most talkative, say the most nice things, just because, just being with the person is enough for me. Just saying like, "Oh yeah, I love you, how was your day?" I'm not the type of person who talks a bunch in a relationship. I think that's the view people get from me when they watch my videos and they say, "Oh, you're my favorite YouTuber. I want to be in a relationship with you." Like, I don't think people know what they sign up for when they say that, because I've had a few people that are like that. Because, like, me in my videos and me in a relationship with somebody who's totally different things, two totally different things. In a video, I'm focused on discussing a topic, and if you give me a topic to discuss, I will talk about it in the exact same way that I talk in videos. But if you just want to exist with me, I'm pretty quiet. I if you give me something to say, I will definitely talk. I love talking. It's my favorite thing to do in the entire world, so I will do it. But it's not like a constant stream of words the way it is in my videos. And I'm certainly not the most romantic of people. I'm pretty pragmatic when it comes to these things. I'm like, how can I take care of you? What do you need me to do in the relationship? I literally said, there was this instance where I said, this was so embarrassing. I literally told someone when I was with them, "What do you need me to do?" And they were so confused, because we were talking about like our plans for the relationship and like, how we felt about each other. And they had this like big response that they gave me of like, "Oh, you're so great because of this, and I like relationships because of this, and all this other kinds of nonsense." And I just had like a couple word reply: "What do you need me to do?" It's like, looking back, it's so silly. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that I would say something like that in retrospect, now that I understand the social context of what I was saying. But it made perfect sense to me to say that, because yeah, but what do you need me to do? I don't fucking know what I'm doing here. I'm just here to be me. I don't know. Um, and so like, I don't understand people who can be so talkative and with people all the time in a relationship. I'm not like that. I want my time to do my work, and it's the thing that's always ended relationships for me. Even like friendships, sometimes if they get too pushy about it, but most of my friends are pretty cool. Is people who will force me not to work on things. I'll be writing a script, and then I was with another partner at one point, and they were telling me, "Oh, I'm in, so much is going on. I'm in so much pain and all this other stuff." And of course, I will talk to them because it's the right thing to do, and I feel bad for not doing that. But I was also working on something, and I wanted to be in the flow of working on it. That was what I wanted to do at the time. And it sounds so heartless when I say that I would rather choose working on a fucking product than talking to a significant other. And ultimately, I did speak to that significant other, but I didn't like it. I was a little bit passive aggressive about it. Didn't really want to be there, but I ultimately fulfilled the role that I was supposed to fill. And in a few months' time, that relationship was over, because I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. This is I would much rather be making things, focusing my energy on building stuff, than focusing my energy on helping someone through their emotional problems, or, you know, being there to be some kind of significant other figure. I don't want to do that. I It's a very weird situation for me, because I don't particularly care about porn. As I've said, I don't really think about it. I just think about making things. And I think, about the stuff I'm reading, the stuff I'm watching. I don't particularly think about relationships when I'm in relationships, but I am sexually gratified by them because the other person loves me and it feels good to know that they do. So it's a very weird situation. I don't have autism. That's not what's going on here, but like I just how can one person be so socially autistic despite not having autism? That's the question that I have to ask myself all the time because there's clearly a problem here that when I'm in a relationship with somebody that I have one word responses and responses that are so painfully simple to someone who's putting in all this emotional energy. And I why is it why is it that I'm always the one who looks lazy and robotic in these situations? Why can't I just pull up my pants by my bootstrap and clean my room or whatever it is they say you're supposed to do these days? Like I I feel like I just can't be the type of partner that most people would want because I spend so much of my time just by myself and as much as I love being around other people, speaking to other people, working with other people, when it comes to romance, that's something that a lot of people want you to do all day. And I'm not for that. I'm not for just speaking to someone all day. Because each time I've done that, each time I've tried to force myself into that mindset, I became extremely unhealthy. I hated it. Even like normal, like socially required levels of interaction, I would hate it. Even if I loved the other person. Like, I would legitimately feel love and romantic feelings for the other person, but I just wouldn't want to talk to them. Like, what kind of psychopath do I have to be to have this experience with pornography, to feel that pornography is just bad and boring because it doesn't give me the emotional component. But once I have the emotional component, I'm so reliant on the things that I do on my own that I'm unwilling to take advantage of what it is that I have right in front of me. Like, what what kind of autist do I have to be this mentally fucked up? Jesus Christ. Um, I don't think anyone should ever date me. I, I'm just like my desire in this world is to love someone else, and that is the sexually stimulating thing. But as soon as I have that, I'm so like I I underperform so much that I feel like it's a big surprise for people who watch my videos. I'm when you get close to me and you get interpersonal with me, I'm so much less grandiose than the persona that I put on when I'm around most people. That I think it's just jarring for people. Um, my mind is fucked up, man. This is the one of the weirdest videos I've done just talking about this because I can't stop giggling about it because like I know that the concept itself is inherently silly and I know that my existence being like this is inherently silly but I just am, you know, I just think in this way. I just I don't care about porn. I don't I don't know, man. My metric for what is a good woman or boy is just how obsessed are they with me? How much do they love me? And if they aren't horribly ugly, that's basically that's you've checked all the boxes right there. And let me do my work, because if you're not going to let me do work, and if you're not going to let me be myself, there are going to be major problems that arise from there. I don't quite understand relationships. Um, I would like to think that each time I've been in one, I've tried to be caring for the other individual, but you know, I end up making videos like this. This is so bad, man. I'm a fucking terrible person.